What's up, wrestling fans, trading card collectors? Welcome to another episode of Wrestling with Cards. Today, we're going over the final, yes, the final. It's been a marathon getting through this video series. The final episode of the 1995 WCW Main Event card set. There's still some great cards left in this. Stick around and find out what's left. So the first part of this video is going to be the tribute section, where WCW took some of their biggest name guys, gave them several different cards in a row in the checklist set, and just kind of talk a little bit about them. So first off, we're going to look at the first tribute card from Randy Savage. Classic Randy Savage. Look at that face. He's clearly snapped into a Slim Jim. In typical Macho Man Randy Savage style, the beloved grappler shocked the world in '94 by joining WCW. He did so on national TV during an interview with Mean Gene Okerlund, promptly made it known that he was going for the gold, or at least the man holding the heavyweight title, Hulk Hogan. Savage said he would either shake Hogan's hand or slap him in the face in the one-on-one encounter. At Starrcade in Nashville, Tennessee, Savage eventually sided with the Hulkster to pair the new form of Monster Maniacs, which I went over that card in the base set. Go back and check out the previous video if you haven't seen it. Second Macho Man card. Another great shot. You know, these tribute sets I think have some pretty good photos. Flashy and sassy, Macho Man Randy Savage is unpredictable as the ring as the weather outside. Expect the unexpected, that's my way, said Savage, 6'1", 230 pounds, hailing from Sarasota, Florida. Some in the wrestling world would have said my glory years are behind me, but they're wrong, big time wrong. And I will prove here in WCW that Macho Madness can rise to the occasion once again. Savage is a two-time former world champion. Third Macho Man card in the tribute set, and wow, look at that gear, look at those designs. That black and gold is awesome, really pops. Something else that pops is the design they went with. I talked about how they're condition sensitive and there's a lot of chipping edge wear on these cards. I don't know why they decided to go with black on the front pictures and bright colors on the back, because that's going to show imperfections as well. So getting these WCW main event cards in high grade could be an interesting challenge. Imagine, if you can, Macho Man Randy Savage at home plate, fabled Yankee Stadium with a baseball bat carefully perched over his right shoulder. Pitcher delivers his best fastball and crack. Savage sends a ball flying over the fence for the home run. This, believe it or not, was Savage's dream before he entered the squared circle. He played minor league baseball from 71 to 75 for the White Sox, Reds, and Cardinals. Speaking of that, there is a Macho Man Randy Savage, or Randy Poffo, I guess is what it says, because it's his real name, floating around, and I believe it is a custom. So if you're looking for the Macho Man baseball card, I don't think it was ever officially released, so be careful on how much you're paying for those. Another great shot in the last Macho Man in the tribute set is him just signing autographs. Very simple, but you know, it's a really cool thing. Wait, look at it. Okay, so he's signing Macho Man. Are they asking him to sign a Hulk Hogan and Jimmy Hart picture? Wow, that's degrading. And of course, Jimmy Hart had to weasel his way in the background, but just something different that they did with this card. I like it. Where did Macho Man Randy Savage learn his wrestling skills? That's simple. His dad, Angelo Poffo, U.S. heavyweight champion in 1957. Macho Man and all his perseverance, being goal-oriented and doing things full out, 100 miles per hour. Traits I acquired from my dad, said Savage. Added Angelo, it's a great thrill to see all the success Randy has had, especially knowing I was partially responsible. Randy has a tremendous drive for everything he does. And that's what you should do watching this video. Have a tremendous drive for everything you do in life. Find goals, go for it, and succeed. Or fail, and then try again. Next part of the tribute set, Ric Flair cards. There he is, in all the glory of his Dutch boy haircut. Not really the biggest fan of this card, but it is Ric Flair, so, you can't really go wrong. What can possibly say to accurately describe Nature Boy Ric Flair? How about, well, I'm not going to do the woo on here. Everybody does the woo. Ric Flair truly is a wrestling legend, a sure Hall of Famer if there ever was one. Exactly how great is Flair, you say? Well, he's an 11-time world champion, also held the WCW Tag Team titles 3 times and the U.S. title 5 times. For Ric Flair, this one's a little bit better. It's got Hogan there in the hammerlock, I believe. 2 of the greatest to ever lace up the boots. This is just a great shot. Flashback to 77. Tony Dorsett led the University of Pittsburgh to a perfect season. The Oakland Raiders won the Super Bowl. Toronto Blue Jays played their first game, and the Al McGuire coached Marquette Warriors won the NCAA title in basketball. In February, Ric Flair captured his first WCW Championship belt in the tag team ranks. Ric Flair is quite possibly a legend in the sport, said Macho Man Randy Savage. Quite possibly. Ugh. He is a legend. You know, after that last statement of quite possibly, you're kind of wondering if this cards company or if WCW Bookings Committee is the one that wrote these on the back and not the actual wrestlers. More Ric Flair. This is a cool shot. Look at that robe. He's having a blast, well, at least he appears he is. Ric Flair's ability is only bested by his charisma, which is only bested by his arrogance, which is why he's a legend. He's a cult figure, connoisseur of beautiful women, and wrestling extraordinaire. Charlotte, North Carolina native, 6'1", 245 pounds, stands second fiddle to no one. Never has, never will. To be the man, you gotta beat the man. Ric Flair. His trademark golden locks, sequins robes, stylish suits, figure four leg lock finishing hold. The last Ric Flair card in this series, and this is kind of a bummer. Why do they keep getting these awkward pinning combination pictures? There's the ref trying to see if the shoulder's down. That's kind of funny. Not the biggest fan of this card, though. Ric Flair's greatest victory didn't come in the wrestling ring. Instead, it was the fact he survived the 75 airplane crash, after which doctors said he may never walk again. Flair broke his back in 3 places, but perseverance and pride paid off. Ric Flair is the greatest world champion of all time, said Vader, whom Flair beat at Starrcade 93 for his 11th world title. Next up in the tribute set, Sting. And man, are these cards kind of cool for all the wrong reasons. Did you ever think, when you bought a set of WCW trading cards, you'd be buying a Sting card playing volleyball? I don't think so. But man, this is awesome. Or maybe it's just me and I'm weird. Blonde hair, bronze body, painted face, drive to survive. This is Sting. WCW's self-proclaimed Rock of... I don't even know what that is. Wow. I must be an idiot, or I don't know what that is. That word, Rock of whatever. If you know, let me know in the comments. He's been a WCW mainstay since '87, when TV mogul Ted Turner bought out the Jim Crockett Promotions back in the NWA days. I'm an intense person who cares about and can relate to people from all walks of life, kids to grandparents, says Sting, who hails from Venice Beach, California, which is probably where he's playing volleyball there. More Sting, suited and booted. Bet you didn't expect to buy trading card set and find Sting in a suit with a bow tie. Well, he's still got those awesome glasses on, which is kind of ironic, because most of the time in the building, you know, that's like a heel move, but whatever. Sting is at one time or another held all 3 major WCW championships. He captured his first and only WCW TV title, March of '89. A little more than a year later, he captures his first of 3 world titles, and in '91 beat heavyweight. In August of '91, between heavyweight reigns, he won the U.S. Championship. Sting also captured the European Cup in March of '94. I don't even remember the European Cup. If you know, let me know in the comments, what was that all about? Last Sting card in the Tribute series. Actually a pretty cool shot of him drop kicking Earthquake, Avalanche, whatever you want to call him. I don't even remember what his name was. Shark, maybe? Well, I don't see the face paint, so I don't know. But cool shot. Sting met Ric Flair at his very first Clash of the Champions in Greensboro, North Carolina in March of 1988. Side note, that's one of the first tapes I can remember. I had the Road Warriors tape I used to watch a lot when I was a kid, but I believe my dad had taped this Clash of the Champions, and I just wore this tape out with this Sting's first match. Little did I know I was witnessing history of 2 legends. Ric Flair has more than his fair share of supporters, also an abundance of fans and wrestlers who despise him. Sting simply respects the Nature Boy. Whether friend or foe, Ric Flair is someone who he'll respect. Will always remember him for basically putting me on the map. Next cards in the list. Not Hollywood at the time. Hulk Hogan, brother. Look at those awesome wrist guards. Not a bad shot. Getting ready to hurt Vader's arm. Waiting for Ross Foreman. No, it's not a new tag team. It's a request from the ailing children worldwide through the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Hulkster never denies a request. He's magical in and out of the ring. Hulk Hogan has been blessed. That's why I enjoy passing my good fortune on to others, said Hogan, who received a 10-year merit award for service with the foundation. He's also involved with the Pediatric AIDS Center, Special Olympics, and Starlight Foundation. Next Hogan card in the tribute set. I always spot these banners in these WCW cards, which I used to love at the time. Hogan and Vader once again getting ready to wind up to give him the big Hulkster fist. Since '85, Hulk Hogan has been one of the most recognizable sport personalities in the world. He's amazing, says the Hulkster's manager Jimmy Hart. Well, of course he does. We could be walking through airports in Baltimore or Bangkok, and the response is still the same. 80-year-olds coming up just to touch him. Everybody loves Hulk Hogan, from Joe fan to the most renowned sports and entertainment celebrities. Wherever he goes, the fans follow. More Hogan cards in the tribute, and this is not a bad one. Look at Jimmy Hart's outfit. So ridiculous. Hogan pointing to somebody looking like he's going to get his revenge, but the real prize of this card is this gold curtaining that WCW used to use. I absolutely loved that when they would do that, the silver or the gold curtains like that. They were all sparkly. I don't know why I liked it so much, but that's my favorite part of the card, ironically. Sports Illustrated cover? Been there. Body Slam 500 plus pound Andre the Giant? Done that. Hosted Saturday Night Live? Done that. Hulk Hogan with his signature bandana, fiery eyes, blonde mustache, and 24-inch biceps is simply an American icon. 100% accurate, which is why I think most of his cards are good investments, as a side note. Hulk Hogan's career is an unbelievable one. Rags to riches. When he started wrestling, everybody knew that he had what it would take. Well, I guess he proved them wrong, said Hogan's manager Jimmy Hart. Again, Jimmy Hart. More Hogan tribute cards. This one's pretty cool. Getting ready to whip Flair with his Dutch boy haircut into the ropes. Hogan's probably, if you see his face right there, he's probably actually squirming at that haircut that Ric Flair had. Not even Rocky Balboa could contain the great Hulk Hogan, as Thunder Lips, the Hulkster, made his silver screen debut in the hit Rocky III, tossing Balboa out of the ring. Hogan also appeared in Gremlins 2. He starred in No Holds Barred, Suburban Commando, Mr. Nanny. Hogan now plays R.J. Hurricane Spencer as an ex-Navy SEAL for hire in Thunder in Paradise, a syndicated hour-long action show. You guys remember that show? Let me know what you think of the show in the comments. Now this is a Hulk Hogan card. Look at that. That was his Hogan Parade when he first arrived in WCW. I believe this was in Disney. That's just awesome. What an awesome shot. I'm surprised Jimmy Hart's not driving the car, actually. Hulk Hogan's the world's greatest professional wrestler of all time, hands down. He claimed the WCW World Heavyweight Championship on July 1994, defeating Nature Boy Ric Flair. Said it before, I'll say it again. Say your prayers, take your vitamins, train, and believe in yourself. God and Hulk Hogan. And remember, dreams can come true, Hogan said. And the final card in the tributes section and with Hulk Hogan is an interview with Mean Gene. This is actually a pretty cool shot. Clearly outside, so I don't know. It looks like, yeah, there's a Disney logo, so this may have been when he first got to WCW. There's Jimmy Hart, once again, in the background. What was Hulk Hogan's greatest wrestling accomplishment? Beating Ric Flair at Halloween Havoc 94, said Hogan. That put an end to the part of Hulkamania that was missing. Long-standing question, can Hulk beat Ric Flair? That's what every wrestling fan wanted to know. So for many years, I proved I can beat Ric Flair, and in doing so, showed that, yes, Hulk Hogan is the sum of all its parts. What does that mean? This next section is actually some of my favorite cards in the whole set, and that is the WCW pay-per-view section. So we're going to start it off with Spring Stampede. So what they did is they took the promotional promotional posters and turned them into cards. I think this is fantastic. I think these would look great slabbed. Again, they're going to be condition sensitive, but just a great memory. You know, a lot of people like to collect programs and posters. This is a way to do it in a small, compact shape. And you thought March Madness only happened on the basketball court. March 1995, all broke loose in WCW. The organization's newest pay-per-view, originating from Tupelo, Mississippi Coliseum, turned into March Mayhem. Main event featured Hulk Hogan defending his world title against Vader in a strap match. Neither myself nor my office will take responsibility for WCW Uncensored, WCW's Commissioner Nick Bockwinkel declared beforehand. And clearly, within reading this is not uncensored. This is Spring Stampede. Way to go, WCW. Way to go. Let's see if WCW can get this one right. Starrcade 94, Triple Threat. Look at that. That's just awesome. These posters were so cool. They made you want to buy them. Truly the Super Bowl of wrestling pay-per-views, WCW Starrcade has more than its share of mega matches. 93 edition from Charlotte, North Carolina, had Nature Boy defeating Vader in just under 30 minutes to capture his 11th world title. The 94 edition, held in Nashville, Tennessee, Macho Man formally joined WCW, jumping aboard Hulkamania bandwagon. Well, they got that right, gave a little bit of history, so good job, WCW. Way to get something right for once. Let's see if we can make it 2 for 2. Witness the terrifying rage in the cage. Look at the spiders, Halloween Havoc, one of the biggest WCW pay-per-views in history. Everybody remembers Halloween Havoc. Eric Bischoff on the podcast always says that's like the flagship WCW pay-per-view show. I don't necessarily agree with that. There was different ones for me. Fall Brawl with War Games was always one for me because nobody was ever doing that. Some say Starrcade was like their WrestleMania. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments what was your favorite WCW pay-per-view. Not the actual pay-per-view, but the franchise. So did you like Halloween Havoc? Did you like Fall Brawl? Did you like World War III? Like, what was your favorite mainstay in WCW pay-per-views? Career versus career in a steel cage. That was the highlight of 94 Halloween Havoc held at the Joe Louis Arena in Detroit. Isn't that the same place that Hogan also killed the Giant, only to have him come back later in the show? Interesting. Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan each put the ultimate prize on the line. Their careers. In the end, the Hulkster won the match, but lost a friend, and not just any friend. As he celebrated, the Masked Man again attacked Hogan, but this time was caught. Turned out to be Hogan's longtime friend Butcher. Woo! But was it the Butcher? Was it the Zodiac? Was it the Booty Man? Nobody actually knows. I was talking about Fall Brawl, and here we go. This is one of my WCW pay-per-view favorites. The only problem is a lot of times they would do these. There was that time period where they weren't allowing blood. And I am such... You guys know how I hate ripping packs and ripping boxes because I don't think the ROI is good. That's a similar feeling to how I feel about cage matches. Why are you having a cage match, building up feuds in these team matches, and you're not going to have blood? Now, some of these did have blood, and that's fine. But a lot of them, a lot of modern cage matches also just don't have blood, and it irritates me. Anyway, Johnny B. Bad will never forget the 94 Fall Brawl, nor will his mother. In his match against Lord Steven Regal, he held on September 18th in Roanoke, Virginia. Bad pinned Regal to capture his first World TV title, and it was his mom's birthday. Woo! Winning that match proved to me that yes, dreams can come true, Bad said. Also that evening, Hacksaw Jim Duggan downed stunning Steve Austin for the U.S. title in 28 seconds. Read that again. Hacksaw Jim Duggan downed Steve Austin, who would later be Stone Cold Steve Austin, biggest wrestling draw there probably ever was besides Hulk Hogan, for the title. Way to go, WCW. Bash at the Beach with a giant shark. Really cool looking poster. Not just a day at the beach. Always loved this flexing wave. Talked about that in the past. So cool poster. The 94 Bash, held July 17th at the Orlando Arena, long will be remembered as the most important day in pro wrestling history. I don't know that that's accurate. It was the day that the immortal Hulk Hogan, accompanied by his manager Jimmy, Mouth of the South Heart, of course he was, and bodyguard Mr. T, captured the WCW World Heavyweight title. The award was presented to Hogan by longtime Hulkamaniac, Orlando Magic superstar Shaquille O'Neal. This was awesome. I remember seeing when Shaq presented him the title, not on the pay-per-view. I didn't buy the pay-per-view, but I think I went back and watched it on some preview show. You know, WCW had their syndicated shows, and eventually they would show Shaq coming on there. And since Shaq was my favorite player at the time, mixing with Hulkamania, those are two guys I'm still collecting to this day. It was a monumental moment, however, maybe not the biggest in pro wrestling history, as they just stated on that card. Slamboree Legends Reunion. This pay-per-view I do remember watching back on VHS tape trading. Didn't watch it live, of course, because I really didn't buy a lot of pay-per-views. But I love the Legends Reunion stuff. I love this poster with all these broken records. You got Vern Gagne and Killer Kowalski and Ray Stevens on there, mixed with the newer talent of Rude, Vader, and Flair. Really cool card. Pretty cool event. Maybe the concept of the event was cooler than the actual event. Let me know in the comments what you think about that. Slamboree is a night of wrestling stars, past and present. 94 edition held May 22nd, Philadelphia Civic Center, featured WCW Hall of Fame induction for Harley Race, 5 others. Former Flyers henchman Dave the Hammer Schultz was the guest referee for a Wild and Woolly. Wild and Woolly, alright. Tag team match starring Nasty Boys. Also that night, Dustin Rhodes whooped Bunkhouse Buck in a bull rope match. And the last card in the pay-per-view set, Super Brawl. Not bad. This is an okay poster. Kind of reminds me of old boxing posters a little bit. Just, the two guys with the names. Hogan versus Vader. It's the match. Wait, what? This says Flair. It's the match wrestling diehards worldwide wanted to see, and they finally did. 1995 in February from the Baltimore, Maryland arena, for a standing room only crowd. More than 15,000. Hulk Hogan defended his world title against Vader. Hulk Hogan defended his world championship. Vader also was a headliner in '93 Super Brawl from Asheville, North Carolina, when he defeated Sting in a lights-out leather strap match. So they're talking, I get what they're doing here. They're talking about like different Super Brawls. Right off the top of my head, I don't remember if this Super Brawl actually featured these two, but they did cover multiple ones here, so maybe they did, maybe they didn't. Let me know in the comments. And the final section of this WCW card set, 1995 main event, looking at championships, we've got Arn Anderson with what appears to be the television championship. Cool looking belt. Gotta love Arn Anderson. Arn Anderson is the most underrated wrestler in the history of the sport, states WCW announcer Chris Cruz. Chris Cruz. And rightfully so. Despite the 9 title reigns dating back to '78, Arn is is often only acknowledged as the dirtiest player in the game. No, that would be Ric Flair. WCW can't even get their stars right. Next card in the WCW Championship section of this set, Harlem Heat. What an awesome looking card. Them coming out with the belts and Sherry, those outfits. Stevie Ray's too cool to... He's just carrying the belt. Too cool to throw it over his shoulder. That's awesome. Kind of reminds me of like the Gangstas or Steve Austin when he would just drag it to the ring. Cool shot. Stevie Ray, one half of Harlem Heat, once declared, "When you beat the best, you are the best. When you beat the baddest, you are the baddest. And when you beat the toughest, you are the toughest." Enough said. Enough said. Heat beats Stars and Stripes for the titles. Well, that probably wasn't too hard, but this is a cool card. Again, one of my favorite tag teams in WCW of all time. Now, I said WCW. I'm not counting NWA because that would be the Road Warriors or the Midnight Express or the Rock and Roll Express, in my opinion. But once it was WCW, for the entire stretch of WCW, Harlem Heat, in my opinion, best tag team. Next championship card, Vader. Big Van Vader. Press slamming Sting there. Pee Wee Anderson looking on in fear. I would too if I was anywhere near Vader. I'd be afraid. This is for the U.S. Heavyweight Championship. Vader's the most intimidating person, animal, monster, alias wrestler I have ever been around, declares WCW Heavyweight Champion Hulk Hogan, who had his first match with the man from the Rocky Mountains in February at Super Brawl 5. And our last championship card, of course, it's going to be Hogan, posing with the big gold belt. Not a bad looking card. World Heavyweight Championship is the belt he's representing here. The world came to a standstill July 17th, '94, when Ric Flair put his WCW title on the line against Hulk Hogan in the Bash at the Beach main event. Following day, headlines worldwide declared Hogan once again on top. Hulkster has stayed there ever since. And the last card in the WCW 1995 main event card set, possibly the most important card in this set. Bam! Checklist. Oh yeah, who remembers getting these awesome checklist cards? And you can see how they kind of broke it down into, oh look, remember I said there was like the miscellaneous section? Well, I didn't know there was an up-and-comers was part of that, so that's bad on my part. Maybe if I would have started with a checklist, I would have known this in the first place, but I like how they break things down. You can see I went over that uncensored card, and it actually said Spring Stampede, so that's a printing error on WCW. Way to go. But yeah, final card in the set, the checklist. Woo! Guys, I want to thank you again for checking out this video. And if you haven't already, go back and check out the playlist of this whole entire set. Go start at episode 1 if you haven't checked it out already. You can kind of watch all of these cards in order. A lot of good information, a lot of funny information, a lot of typical WCW stuff that you would expect, them just screwing things up on the cards you saw in this video with the uncensored and the Slamboree poster, not accurate. So there's a lot of that stuff in there, a lot of funny stuff, but a lot of good information too if you're looking for like rookie card information or just some other tidbits of wrestling information. If you know anybody that likes WCW, make sure you share this video or this video series with them. Let's get more people into cards, especially classic wrestling cards. Give me one of these, hit the videos on the screen for more great wrestling videos. I'll see you there. See you in the comments.